Assalamu alaikum everyone, hope you are doing great and welcome back to my channel, welcome back to my video, welcome back to the lecture, hope you are doing great and really if you're new, don't forget to like, share, subscribe and channel, plus like the bell icon so that you get notification by each and every video. If you have any question on my science, you can comment and give my video, I'll go through it as soon as it possible. So today once again I'm back with you guys with another lecture and it's again plant systems and it's on the same day, I'm gonna upload it on the same day. So yeah, let's go through it. It's plant system again. So we're gonna study transpiration in this video. So now transpiration. Now plants absorb mineral nutrients and water from the soil. You should know this from where plants absorb mineral nutrients and water from the soil. Not all the water absorbed is utilized by the plant. Now you should also notice that all the water that we absorb is not utilized by the plant. The water evaporated to by stomata is present on the surface of leaves by the process of transpiration. And then water that is present on the stomata, it's basically on the surface of leaf is basically by the process of transpiration. Now the evaporation of water from leaves generates a suction pull, the same that you do produce when you suck water through a straw. Now when we pull water to great heights in the tall trees. Now transpiration also cools the plant. Now it's also known for cooling the plant. Now rate of transpiration, we're having light, temperature, humidity, wind and soil water. Now light, so plants transfer more rapidly in the light than in dark. Now it is largely because light limits the opening of the stomata mechanism. Now light also speeds up the transpiration by warming the leaf. Now temperature, plants transpire more rapidly at higher temperatures because water evaporates more rapidly as the temperature rises. Like at 30 degrees Celsius, a leaf may transpire 3 times as fast as it does at 20 degrees Celsius. Now, humidity, the rate of diffusion of any substance increases as the difference in concentration of the substance in the two regions increases. Now, when the surrounding air is dry, diffusion of water out of the leaf goes on more rapidly. Now, when there is no breeze, the air surrounding of leaf becomes increasingly humid, thus reducing the rate of transpiration. When a breeze is present, the humid air is carried away and replaced by a drier air. Soil water, a plant cannot continue to transpire rapidly if its water loss is not made up by displacement from the soil. Like when the absorption of water from the roots fails to keep up with the rate of transpiration, loss of turgor occurs and the stomata close. This immediately reduces the rate of transpiration as well as of the photosynthesis. If the loss of turgor extends to the rest of the leaf, this time of plant wilts. Then here you can see in this picture, you can see that there is a temperature. So when temperatures like temperature, humidity, sunshine, wind, transportation effect. Now here moisture, temperature, pH, electrical conductivity. Now this is a picture that shows us the rates of transpiration. Transpiration pull. What is transpiration pull? So transpiration pull is basically a process that can be defined as a force that works against the direction of gravity in plants due to the constant process of transpiration in the plant body. Now, this force helps in the movement of water as well as in the minerals developed into upper parts of the plants. The movement of water takes place through the xylem, a dead tissue that is formed throughout the length of plants. Transpiration pull can alternately be described as a suction force that pulls up the groundwater in an upward direction. The plant for photosynthesis utilizes a very small percentage of the water and the remaining is transpired into the atmosphere via water vapors. Okay. Now here you can see transpiration creates transpiration pull. Now capillary action results in rise up water at the base of stem and osmosis pushes water to root hairs. Okay. Then here you can see photosynthesis. Now photosynthesis, photo means light and synthesis means to combine. So meaning food producing in the presence of sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, minerals and chlorophyll by plants. So photosynthesis process is defined in the chemical equation below. Like when carbon dioxide, water and sunlight combine with the aid of chlorophyll, glucose and oxygen are formed. Now the nutrient obtained by the plant is glucose and oxygen is released into the atmosphere. Here you can see plant photosynthesis. Here you can see this is a chemical like carbon dioxide plus water plus light energy gives you chlorophyll and then glucose by oxygen, and upperly they are written in their chemical equation forms with 6 because it represents if they are fully filled. Now the following are steps involved in the photosynthesis process. So first of all, plants take up carbon dioxide from the atmosphere to the tiny pores known as stomata present on leaves surface and surrounded by guard cells. Now plants absorb water and minerals from the soil and transport them through the vessels to the other parts of the plant, including the leaves where the synthesis of food takes place. Now the green pigment present in the leaves known as chlorophyll helps the plant leaves capture the sunlight that acts as a source of energy to carry out the process. Now through the process of photosynthesis, oxygen is released into the atmosphere during the synthesis of food. Now at the end of the photosynthesis, the food energy is stored in the form of starch. It's a form of sugar as well. Now, InfoWalks, most of the animals, including humans, depend on plants for their survival, and since plants require sunlight for the food production, we can say sun is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms. Photosynthesis isn't limited to leaves, it can also occur in green stems and branches. Desert plants such as cactus have adapted their leaves to form spines in order to minimize water loss by transpiration. These plants have green stems that can conduct photosynthesis. Now, leaves are the best photosynthesis site. So, how adaptation of leaves? Now, larger surface area, the plants produce says larger surface areas, which means a large surface area for maximum absorption of sunlight. Chloroplasts contain a photosynthetic pigment called chlorophyll. Stomata. The stomata are located on the back side of the leaves, which help regulate water loss from leaves. Leaves have a thin structure so that they can provide a short distance for the carbon dioxide to diffuse into leaf cells. The network of veins help them to minimize maximum water molecules and water to all the other parts of the plant. Epidermis is transparent to allow entry of light. Now epidermis is thin and is transparent to allow in more light to reach the palisade. There is a thin cuticle made up of wax to protect the leaf from infection and prevent water loss without blocking out light. Palisade cell layer at the top of the leaf to absorb more light and increase the rate of photosynthesis. Now spongy layer air spaces allow gases to diffuse through the stem. Parasite cells contain many chloroplasts to absorb all the available light. Okay, then we're having how is leaf adapted to perform photosynthesis. First, broad and flat, a row of parasite cells is packed full of chloroplast. A waxy cuticle on its upper surface to prevent water loss means to supply water from the roots to holes that open and close to allow gaseous exchange and air spaces to allow gaseous exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide. Respiration, the process is entirely opposite of the photosynthesis in which food is broken down. Respiration is a process by which living organisms take in oxygen and release carbon dioxide. It's a complex process that involves exchange between the body and the environment, as well as the breakdown of glucose molecules to release oxygen. Now, cellular respiration, during this process, mitochondria of a cell work to break the food molecules in the presence of oxygen. The result of the breakage, carbon dioxide, water, energy is produced, which is utilized by plant cells and to carry out their process. Now photosynthesis, cellular respiration in plant. Photosynthesis, light energy. Now here you can see carbon dioxide plus water plus light energy give you glucose plus oxygen. Okay, and then in cellular respiration, glucose plus oxygen give you carbon dioxide, water and light. Now these two are totally opposite of each other. Here you can see water is being given in and carbon dioxide and sunlight is given and oxygen is taken out in cellular respiration. Plants health and mitochondria is given in the glucose and the heat is given out. So yeah, this is basically what it's. And now here it's the chemical formula: glucose plus oxygen into water, carbon dioxide plus energy in the form of ATP that is used in our body. Now comparison between respiration and photosynthesis. Now photosynthesis, all green plants that contain chlorophyll undergo this process, and all living things including plants, animals, birds and others go through this process of respiration. Now in photosynthesis, food synthesized and in respiration, food oxidized. And photosynthesis, energy is absorbed and energy is released in respiration. need carbon dioxide, water, energy, light in photosynthesis, and need glucose and oxygen respiration, and produces food and captures the energy in photosynthesis, takes in oxygen at library rates, carbon dioxide in respiration. It takes place in chloroplast photosynthesis. It takes place in mitochondria respiration. Chemical reaction of photosynthesis is like carbon dioxide plus water into glucose and oxygen, and chemical reaction of respiration is like glucose plus oxygen into carbon dioxide and water, as well as energy as well in both of them. Okay, now here day photosynthesis and night cellular respiration. Now sunlight is being given sugars and the minerals, waters, everything is present, carbon dioxide, oxygen, so it happens in daytime photosynthesis. And in cellular respiration, what happens? Oxygen, O2, carbon dioxide is given out, and sugars. Now it's the same process, but respiration can take place in, it has not a time, it depends on no time, it can take place every time, whereas photosynthesis only take place in the daytime. So hope so you liked today's lecture. This was all about today's lecture. So maybe I'll upload one more video today or many more video today. So bye bye, take care, and Allah Hafiz.